Greetings! This lesson we are going to be talking about axial symmetry in the XY plane and how to use the mirror command to create and control this symmetry. The first thing to cover would obviously be to define what axial symmetry actually is. I mean, that is a confusing sounding couple of words, isn't it? But rest assured, it is easy to understand. Axial symmetry is actually just symmetry about an axis. We control it using the mirror command. The mirror command simply reflects an image or object of your choosing across an axis of your choosing. Here I have an example object created and displayed, which I will use to demonstrate mirror. We have in the viewport a blue triangle in the first quadrant here. One of its points lies on the y-axis. On the left you can see where I define this triangle, where I color it blue and then I display it. Notice that this triangle is named half 1. That is because we are about to make a copy of that and mirror it across an axis. So I'm going to demonstrate the mirror command now by creating a copy of half 1 and reflecting it across the y-axis. So let's make that copy and let's call it half 2. Remember about the copy command that it will create an exact replica of half 1 in the same location. In this case, the copy is named half 2. Now let's reflect half 2 to the other side of the y-axis using the mirror command. Mirror takes 3 parameters. The first is the object that we want to reflect, which of course would be half 1 in this case. The second is a number which represents the location of the axis around which we're reflecting our object, as it is found in the axis defined by the third parameter. The third parameter is then, of course, the axis where we will find the point specified in the second parameter. We call this the main axis. Let me write the code and explain it a little better. We will just put in mirror half 2, 0, and then a capital X to represent X as the main axis. Then we have to remember to display it by putting half 2 into the show command. So the third parameter represents the x-axis, and the second parameter represents the point 0 on this axis. The mirror command creates a vertical axis at this point, 0, which is perpendicular to the main axis. So let's run the program to see our object reflected across the y-axis here, or the point 0 on the x-axis. There we go. Half 2 has been reflected across the y-axis, and it is now making a mirror image of half 1 on the other side of it. Let's do another quick example. Instead of reflecting across the y-axis, let's reflect across the vertical line that crosses the x-axis at x equals -1, or this vertical line which I'm highlighting right here. So let's just change the 0 in the mirror command to -1 and press run program to see it. We still have a mirror image of half 1 reflected, but this time it's a little bit further from the point of reflection, right here. Notice how both of these triangles are 1 unit away from this point on this axis. So to sum up this lesson, remember these few things. First, axial symmetry is just symmetry across an axis. 2, we use the mirror command to reflect objects across axes. 3, this command takes 3 parameters, which allows you to select the object that you want to reflect as well as the point that you want to reflect it across. The first parameter is the object we want to reflect. The second is the point on the main axis upon which to form the new reflective axis. And the third defines the main axis itself. Know that even though I've only used mirror to reflect across vertical axes, it can be used on other axes and other points. Experiment with the mirror command and have some fun playing around with it.